Hi everyone and welcome to another Boss Girl Budgets. Today is Monday, which means it is a cash stuffing day and we don't have a lot to cash stuff, but I did want to share my week with you, so let's jump into it. So today is Monday and it is still the long weekend, so happy long weekend to you all. I'm really excited to be here today and I'm really glad that you are here watching. I hope that you all had a lovely long weekend. Let me know down below what you have been getting up to for the weekend. Did you go away? Did you eat lots of chocolate? Let me know. Over here we've had a pretty quiet one. We haven't been doing much. Obviously we haven't had a lot of funds to play around with, so we didn't really do gifts or anything this year, but we did have some family over for Easter Sunday, which was really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much our weekend. Other than that, I have, as always, been working on Boss Girl Budgets products, so I've been getting all the orders out and working on them. For anybody that has ordered, everything is made and done. I'm just waiting for the post office to open on Tuesday to send them out. It is the one thing that I hate about long weekends, is that I cannot get all of your lovely orders out because of closing days, and you know how much I love to get them out as fast as possible. So yes, so my weekend has been pretty cruisy. I did get to enjoy a little sneaky chocolate. We basically stayed away from the Easter eggs because the Easter eggs are astronomical pricing for chocolate at Easter time. So what I did is I researched who had the cheapest blocks of dairy milk chocolate and we treated ourselves to a couple of them. It turned out that excuse me, Big W had the cheapest blocks of chocolate. They were $3.50 on the weekend, so I grabbed a few of them, which meant we could still enjoy a treat, but we weren't splurging on all of those crazy Easter egg prices. But I do understand how exciting it is to get a Easter egg on Easter, especially when I was a little girl. Easter eggs were so much fun, so I do miss the fact that we didn't get to get an egg this year, but we did get to enjoy some chocolate, which is all we really needed. So this week, what have I been doing? So I have obviously made sales with Boss Girl Budgets, which has been great. So let me show you what we are bringing in this week. So this week Boss Girl Budgets only managed to pull in $160. It is not a lot, but it is something, and I'm really grateful for every single order that is made. It really does make a difference. Even little orders make a difference at this point because that is my only income at the moment. So that has been great. So thank you to everybody that has purchased, because it is really helping our situation. My husband has continued to work for a friend of his that has a little shop. It's just a temporary shop at the moment, so he's just helping out for, I think this week might be the last week, and then he's going to start looking for something else. So he's managed to bring in $530 this week, which is great. So that means that we have come to a total of $690. And then I have broken this down. If you've been following me long enough, you know that I do use the zero-based budgeting method. So I work out what our income is, and then I spend every dollar in categories that we need the most. So before we were in this situation where we don't have full-time income, I was breaking this down into so many categories. So I had our everyday binder, I had sinking funds, I had savings challenges, I had future payments. Like, I was putting it into so many things, and that was great. But now we can't really divvy up the funds into many categories. So I've basically brought it down to these 5 categories for now. So we have food, rent, bills, splurge, and petrol. Now I cannot afford to do any splurge this week. We can only do the bare minimum, so that is what I've done. So I've broken this down. So we've got $300 for food, $150 for rent, $200 for bills, and $40 for petrol. So my rent and my bills have been paid electronically, so that's already done and sorted. So I am just going to cash stuff my food and my petrol. And food, I've already spent half of that because I did a top-up shop because of the closures on the weekend. So I have $150 left to put into food. So let's cash stuff those 2 categories now. So I'm going to put $40 into my petrol. And then the rest of that should be $150, and that will be going into groceries. So 1, 20, 40, 50. Now I could potentially use this money, which is my bare necessities. I'm kind of rolling over each week. So because I've kind of covered everything that's important, I'm just going to leave this here and use it for next week in case we don't manage to get all of the funds we need. So anything that I've got left over from the previous week, I'm rolling over into this envelope, and then hopefully next week, if we need some money, it will come from here. But that is pretty much all I can do this week. But I do want to, let me get rid of this. I do want to add a couple of little things to my binder. These are new in my shop, so I've got new dashboards. I've got these acrylic ones that are new in the store, and then I've also designed a few little cute dashboards to layer them up with. So I'm going to add these in just because I want to jazz up my binder a little bit. So let's add this one in, and I reckon I'll do that one at the front. I think that's quite cute and it matches the colour scheme. And then just to divide up these back ones, because I'm not using them at the moment, I'm just going to use this one here, which I think is really cool. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you got up to on the weekend. That is it for me today. I'm really sorry it's short and sweet, but I did promise that I would film every single week for you guys so that you can see the progress as we navigate through this journey. But please let me know what you would like to see from Boss Girl Budgets, and I will see you guys all during the week. Bye guys.